Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. So, look, um, the way 2025 is going so far, if it continues to go this rate, as far as all of the craziness that's been going on, it's going to make 2024 look like it's a punk. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't plan on coming on tonight, but I was minding my business. And then all of a sudden, 50 Cent has a picture of a rat on his actual Instagram page. And I said, oh, hell, what has happened? Who has pissed him off now? And it says the words, I think I'm Big Meech. I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. You know who raps that song. And so I said, what the hell is going on? And next thing you know, it was allegedly confirmed, or he was trying to imply that Big Meech from BMF, who just got out not too long ago, I feel like he got out in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. I guess he's trying to imply that Big Meech is a snitch, a rat. And I was just like, oh, wow. Now, with that being said, literally 24 hours before that, he posted about BMF, the actual television series. I used to review BMF, but it became garbage and I stopped reviewing it. Okay. And so he posted about season 4 and it being the final chapter. Now, where did all of this come from? Well, this is my take on where I think all of this stemmed from. One thing about 50, like I said, I respect Curtis Jackson, but 50 Cent is something else. And I don't know why people continue to cross 50 Cent, but I definitely would like your opinion on this, because one thing I've constantly heard is that 50 Cent is about loyalty. Like, regardless, right, wrong, or indifferent, you will be loyal to him if he's been loyal to you. But I was just like, okay, so I personally think, now he put the final chapter like 23 hours ago. And I was like, thank God it needs to go, because it just wasn't good. Hey, DeMarcus, how are you? It wasn't good. It hasn't been good really since the first season. The second season was okay, but the third season, I was just like, I can't do it. I can't. So I was trying to figure out, like, where did this start from? And I remember Terry, Southwest T, Terry Flannery, the youngest brother of BMF. He ended up taking a picture with Supreme's son. Now, for those who know 50 Cent's story, I'm going to just catch you up on it just in case, the short version of it. I'm sure you guys know 50 Cent got pow-powed like 9 times, okay? If you guys saw his movie, you understand what that story is about. When that happened, I believe it's in front of his grandmother's house. Allegedly, they claim that Supreme from Queens, who was a known, guy back in the day in the 80s, early 90s, allegedly he was the one who put that out on 50. He didn't physically do it, but I guess allegedly they're saying he had someone do it. So with that being said, as you know, I am team neither one, DeMarcus, and thank you for the super chat. I am team. Well, I'll explain my view on it, but honestly, honey, I'm a civilian. I don't go into street politics. I just talk about them, or I view them on TV. But yeah, so this is Kiss May. Hey, girl, not you starting this early. Oh my gosh. Thank you again for the super chat. So, pretty much, he takes a picture with this young man. Okay. Now, mind you, this is the same young man that 50's oldest son took a picture with him also. And he also said he was done with his son for taking a picture with this young man too. Now, of course, this young man has nothing to do with what his father allegedly did. But at the same time, the issue is that he knows what it represents. Like he knows, I'm going to assume Supreme Son knows what it represents. And I think it is, in my opinion, him kind of blatantly trying to disrespect. Yes, she actually did. She actually did say a messy bottom. But I think he knows the blatant disrespect of it. Now, again, I'm a civilian, but street code, when you have someone who has tried to allegedly unalive you, I'm gonna assume, just like with anybody, civilian or even somebody in the streets, they're gonna say, hell no, we'll never be cool ever again, ever. So when this picture happened, yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But you know what's so interesting, T? We're gonna talk about it. Which, by the way, I need to speak to you too. I hit you up early, but I need to speak to you. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it though, because this is the interesting part about it. Terry they posted this picture. Well, I think Terry didn't post it. I think Supreme Son posted it. Okay. And so because of that, naturally 50 is like, what the hell, dude? Like, what the hell are you doing? So at that point, 50, and shout out to, I think this is Sports Keita, because I had to find like the quote or whatever. 50 I took to his Instagram to talk about how he felt like Terry felt that he was upset that little Meech was making more money, okay, than him. And he was pretty much probably hating on his own nephew. Now, I would hope that's not the case, but let's also be realistic. Little Meech is actually an actor. He's a lead actor on the show. The actors typically are going to make more money than Terry would in the situation. But what 50 said is it's not like I didn't help your family make millions. Cool. When stars start suggesting the wrong moves, I'm simply going to sit and watch. Don't worry, you will be off the air in no time, right? So that's when I said, oh boy. And I was like, Terry is crazy, because I mean, I don't know if they even have any more money that they have from they alleged empire, but the reality is this was legitimate money. Let 50 tell it, he made their family millions, legit millions. So why would you even take a picture with someone, even if that is a younger boy, you know what I'm saying, who had nothing to do with the beef of his father and 50? It still suggests something. You know what I mean? So I can understand 50 Cent frustration in that. So when he said that, I said, well, BMF probably gonna be off soon. Okay. And I was like, you know what, Terry? You are being a damn fool. And honestly, yes, we're gonna talk. Hey, Jay. Okay. All right, cool, Teeth. And I was like, you are doing the same type of stuff that they claim that you do on the show, but also with interviews. They say that Terry is allegedly not likable. You know, Meech has always been the one who's been loyal, big-hearted dude, like a, loyal dude. So I was just like, damn. And everybody kept saying in the comment section, and other people who had opinions on it, they kept saying, see, but Big Meech, he would never do nothing like that. Cancer man to cancer man, because I guess apparently Big Meech is a cancer, right? So they was like, oh, cancer to cancer, 50 a cancer, Big Meech a cancer. He would never do nothing stupid like that. He gonna stay 10 toes down and be loyal to 50. Well, I guess not. Because literally a couple of weeks ago, this is Big Meech with Rick Ross, another one of 50's enemies. Okay. And this was actually posted January 22nd, just recently, right? So, yeah. Yeah, it does make it worse, Steve. Apparently, he is a Cancer, just like 50. So this comes out, 50 saw it. He saw it, right? And I was like, oh boy. So it seems like both the Flannery brothers are pretty much saying, yeah, whatever, my ninja. Now, some may say these men have been in prison for damn near 2 decades. They ain't trying to be in no beef. They just trying to get along and just live their life to the fullest. And if you respect me, I respect you, type of thing, whatever. However, again, 50 embraced them and gave them all of his resources. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think I would probably feel a certain way too because I'm a loyal person. So if I sit up there and I look out for your family, make sure you come out, you good, you eating or whatever case may be, and you can make legitimate money. And your son, who didn't even have any acting skills, I think 50 put him in acting classes and all of that stuff. Yeah, it definitely would feel a certain way. So, of course, when 50 saw this, that's when this popped up 23 hours ago. Be sure to catch the next season of BMF is going to be, I guess he's saying, rocket out of here. And then he put the final chapter. All right. Again, I don't care. Because like I said, BMF last season, I said, I don't know what the hell y'all doing. I don't know what's the point of this. Yeah, we can talk about that too, DeMarcus. We'll talk about that. Bring that up after I'm done with this. But with that being said, next thing you know, he posts this. I think I'm Big Meech with a picture of a rat. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. And he says the biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cohen. Her tell-all docu reveals the truth. And so I was like, Tammy Cohen, that sounds familiar. I was like, that sounds really, really familiar. And I was like, oh, hell. And I was like, well, wait, is he calling Big Mitch a snitch? Now, mind you, again, in my algorithm, I have been seeing for the past couple of months people claiming that Big Meech was a snitch. One of them people, baby, is Whack 100. And I know some of y'all probably gonna roll y'all eyes when y'all hear that name, but Whack 100 was one of the people, from my understanding, that allegedly said that Big Meech was a snitch. And there were other channels as well. Because remember, Big Meech was supposed to have 10 more years, I believe, in prison. He got out early. They cut off 10 years. I believe Terry got out early too because of the 2020 situation that we had. But apparently he just got recently pardoned, from my understanding, as well, by the president. I don't know how accurate that is, but I feel like I not only did I see it in the news, but I also saw somebody like post it and there was like a video or something about it. So I was like, okay, even though he's already out, I was like, that's interesting that he gets pardoned by the president. But, hey, at the same time, it is what it is. But, I said, what is going on here, and why? I thought, because again, anytime someone has a reduced sentence, in my opinion, there's always someone trying to claim someone as a snitch. So I just kind of rolled my eyes at it, especially considering the source. And I was just like, okay, so what? They could have just given him that time off because his brother was already out. Maybe he, didn't have any issues in prison, never got in trouble for anything. He has a hot show out. Son's doing good. Maybe they decide to give him 10 years off and said, you haven't been a menace in here, so go. So I was just not thinking anything of it. But then I said, Tammy Cohen sounds familiar. Who the hell is Tammy Cohen? And then I remembered. Do you guys know who this is? Her name is Tonisa Welch, I believe is how she pronounces her name. Tonisa was the longtime girlfriend of Terry Flannery. The role in BMF, allegedly, what her role is in BMF, the series, Lala plays her. Lala Anthony plays her character. Okay. Now, apparently, yes. Hey, Trina, she actually had a BET movie called First Lady or something like that. Trina's correct. She was the girl, and she has one hell of a story, to be quite honest. But she was the girl, and apparently they try to make her seem like in the series that she's not to be trusted. Okay. And so with that, hey Val, hey, yes, girl. Yes, I'm back. But yeah, so she was fighting hard because I remember she actually did a post about how they were trying to portray her character on the show and she didn't like that. And I don't even think she talks to Terry anymore, from my understanding, but they were together for a very long time. In fact, I think when they both got out of prison, they tried to rekindle their relationship for a while too. She was also on a reality show that I tried to watch that was based out of LA. But with that being said, she did a actual interview on Vlad TV. And I think she talked about this Tammy girl, about how they were saying that this Tammy girl is an alleged informant. Okay. And so how she said that she almost got in trouble. Yes, please like the video. Please like the video. How she almost allegedly got in trouble because of this Tammy girl. And so I was like, oh crap. So 50 mentioning Tammy, it brought up, I was like, what the hell is going on here? And he said the biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining a relationship with Tammy. But Tammy apparently, allegedly, is a federal informant. All right. So stay with me here. So I was like, what the hell is going on? All right. And then I started seeing people post about it. So apparently, what the background story is that they are saying there's actually legit snitch claims out on Big Meech. Now, how long 50 has known about this, I don't know. But one thing I will say about cancers are, even if you're in the fault for something, if they're loyal to the core. But as soon as you have crossed the line with them, a point of no return, they're going to air it all out. There have been snitch claims for the past several months on Meech, but it's interesting now that he saw that picture. In my opinion, I'm assuming that's what triggered him. When he saw that picture with Big Meech and Rick Ross, all hell broke loose. So apparently, allegedly, Big Meech, actually one of his really good friends, I would say they even said that's like consider his best friend. His name is Cuddy. Apparently, he was a big time dude in St. Louis. Okay. Apparently has known Meech for 30 years. Okay. So apparently, because of that, they said that Big Meech has something to do with this man being sentenced. So Big Meech can actually reduce his time in prison. So I'm going to play for you. This is allegedly Cuffy's, his name is Cuffy. I think I said Cuddy. Cuffy's daughter. Okay. I'm going to play the actual audio of it, and she talks about what she knows as far as what happened when it came to her father and Big Meech. All right. And then let me know if you guys can hear it. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Lenore, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels. And there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts. And hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie.
So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cohens. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie deal. So finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was. And he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cohen's. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to like reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her; she'll straighten this out. So on, so on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb. I'm not about to call an informant.
Sosa and myself, we all before all of that. You feel me?
Right.
Sosa is a day one nigga. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And see, Meech, I'm the first nigga put $1 million in his pocket. He never seen that till he came to the loop. You feel me?
I heard about you, dog. I heard you was just an outstanding dude, man. Take care of your business and your reputation in a good way preceded itself. So I understand now, based on from what we've dealt with and seen with this whole thing with Tammy, man. Speak on that for me if you can, because it's perplexing.
Well, what Meech and Tammy did is called it because you're not in the system. Thank God you're not. I hate to see brothers in this system, but brothers who are familiar with this system, it's a nasty, nasty system. What Meech and Tammy did was called a third-party cooperation. What happened was...
This call is from a federal prison.
Originally, I was put with Tammy. I paid for the script. I paid $250,000. That's my script. That's why 50 when he came in, because we put a assistant deceased order in through my attorney. That's why they couldn't do a motion picture. That's why you didn't see the BMF story on the big screen. So 50 ran it through that star shit that he run that other corny shit that he do. So what happened was, homie, I wasn't even the original target. They wanted to get a little Mexican. He's actually a cartel member out of L.A. named Suarez. You'll see his name in the paperwork, Fidel Suarez. He was their initial target. You feel me?
Right.
He was their initial target. But with me calling in while they were trying to set up Fidel Suarez, she clicked over and told the agents who was listening to her and Suarez, hold on, this is Cuff. And when they heard the name Cuff, they went fucking crazy. And that's when her and Meech turned the scheme toward me. You feel me? So what it did was, this is what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to give Meech a time cut for her cooperation and set me up. But also, it kills two birds with one stone. It puts me in jail, and now they don't have to split any of the revenue with me. My buddy and my partner along with me his name is Louis Burrell. That's MC Hammer's big brother.
That's who Tammy was coming out here to see.
That was me.
I'm gonna tell you the year. That was 2015. No, that was like 14.
Way earlier than that. It started way earlier than that. Way earlier than that. Around 2010, homie. Way earlier than that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta go way back.
We put $50 million on the table through Lionsgate Films, through Louis Burrell's Connect. Because Louis is the nigga, he a baby nigga out there, but he fucks around. He really fucks around on the music tip, but he also fucks around in the movie industry up there. Now, what we did not know is why Tammy would turn down that deal with me and Louis Burrell getting 20% of that budget. You understand what I'm saying? For a finder's fee. So what ended up happening was we didn't know that they had other plans and that she was sleeping with the feds and that they would put me off in prison and run away with my script and don't have to give me anything. So it was supposed to give me a time cut and knock me out of my percentage, me and Louis Burrell out of our percentage for the finder's fee with Lionsgate's film. Well, Lionsgate, when Louis went, so they backdoored us. Lionsgate that shot it down when Louis Burrell was no longer a part of it. You feel me?
Right.
So Tammy's whole thing fell apart. Meech couldn't get a time cut because they found out Tammy has no credibility. Because when you can't have a relationship with a federal agent, now you have no credibility. So they thing blew up. They thing fell all the way apart and blew up. That's why Meech didn't get a time cut. But Tammy testified in open court that she signed up to be a DA informant to give Demetrius Fleury a time cut.
This call is from a federal prison.
Special agent.
So y'all hear that so far? So what he was saying is that Meech called him to actually, it sounds like, really set up a legitimate BMF movie. Now, I don't know if he's trying to imply that they were trying to set him up from the beginning, but it doesn't sound that way. It sounds like they were supposed to do a BMF movie. They needed Cuffy for the money, the investment of it. And so with that being said, I guess they were trying to set up some guy, I guess in LA, or this Tammy girl, whoever was trying to set up some guy in LA. But when they heard Cuffy's name, they went crazy because they realized, I guess, he was that dude, and they would rather go after him than, I guess, go after that guy. Apparently it's all in the paperwork, like he said. And so at that point, I guess he's saying that they allegedly devised a plan and said, look, we can get him to still invest and then still be able to get him wrapped up, get him in prison. So then therefore, we can take the money and run, type of thing. And he's saying that in court, she actually testified and said that she became an informant to get time cut from Meech. Now, apparently, he keeps saying paperwork. So, when it comes to paperwork, people are real quick to say they got the paperwork. And WAC 100 is saying he has the paperwork on Big Meech, allegedly. All right. So, let me continue. So, yeah, this is interesting.
Keith Cromer testified that Demetrius Fleury knew about this whole thing, but he just wanted to keep his name out of the documents. The special agent told Fleury that he could not do that. He could only do that if Cuff don't go to trial. And with Cuff's record, he can't afford to go to trial. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
But
now, from my understanding, the reason why he said that he only can keep his name out as far as the trial, because I think when people go to trial, that's where the discovery comes and everything has to be aired out. Hey, Leo. Hey, no worries. Come in, replay gang as always. But when people go to trial, that's when discovery happens, and they can no longer, from my understanding, hide names and stuff. Like those type of names have to be exposed when it comes to that. So I guess apparently they're saying, well, if he doesn't go to trial, then of course your name can be, hidden. He won't know anything. But if he goes to trial, then yeah, your name is going to be put out there.
In the midst of all of this, she ends up flipping on the special agent Keith Cromer, and their whole deal went in the trash. So that's why we at the point to where we at now.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long does your relationship go back with Meech, Cuff? How long have you known him? What you guys go
1990,
back?
1990, homie. 1990. My beautiful daughter that you talk with, my son, and my other daughter, they look at this nigga, call this nigga uncle, homie.
Now, from my understanding, you guys reached out to him when the paperwork came down. She said that you knew who the CI was, and you told her and her mom, and you guys sent a message to Meech. What was his response when this stuff came down, and you were like, "Yo, bro, what's going on? What did you get from Meech?"
When I got locked up, homie, and when I seen where this whole conspiracy was coming from, I laughed at it and I didn't believe in it. And I knew that Meech could come forward and kill the whole conspiracy. Just saying that the conspiracy is based on Meech communicating from Tammy, sending me a truckload of drugs. It's all made up. From jail, homie. He could have killed this whole deal. They never had any drugs. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how conspiracy works in this system, and it's nasty.
So, all right, he done said the D word too many times for me. So pretty much in a nutshell, You guys got the point. So this is what they're saying about Big Meech. But again, I have been seeing for the past couple of months that this was out there. I just ignored it because I was like, of course, because he got so much time shaved off, they're going to say that. Because I had never heard anything before that Meech was, I'm saying, a snitch. Apparently he was a very likable guy, still is. And, he stood 10 toes down and did his time like a man. That has been the thought process for many people, so much so that he was still in for a couple of years, even after his brother got out, even though they allegedly did the same thing. So, yeah. And so now all of a sudden 50 Cent is out there like, yeah, you're a rat. So now I'm like, where is this about to go? And again, fair use. Of course, I just played the audio. It was really hard to find the audio with like all of the words bleeped out, unfortunately. But I hope you guys were able to hear it and you kind of got the idea of what happened. Now, he said he's known Meech since 1990. Okay. Family to him. And so this has happened. And of course, he is in prison now. So let me ask you this. Who do you feel is in the right? Now, but let's just say, take the snitching element out of this right now. Okay. Let's just look at the situation with 50. 50 embraced these two brothers after knowing about, of course, their story. They come out. He takes care of the family. Little Meech is, now like an actor making money. And you see one brother take a picture with Supreme's son. And we know clearly what's Supreme, his big issue with Supreme is. And then next thing you know, you see the other brother, the more, popular brother, so to speak, with Rick Ross. How would you feel about that? And I understand, we know 50 Cent can be messy. We know 50 Cent, how he is. He is King Petty. His King Petty can be activated. But if you were in his shoes and you were loyal to someone to the core and you embraced, a whole family and made them money, and then you see that, how would you feel? How would you feel? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with 50 and how he should be pissed off and how he's handling this. Put a 2 in the chat and say, no, I don't agree with 50. They're grown. They've been in jail for X amount of years. They ain't trying to beef. They ain't trying to, do any of that stuff. 50 is tripping. So 1 in the chat if you feel 50 is right. 2 in the chat if you feel 50 is wrong. Okay, DeMarcus say 2, 50 is wrong. Let me see what you guys are saying. Also, Meech hanging out with Ross, who was also a former correctional officer and stole Freeway Rick's name for clout. Yeah, this makes you wonder if Meech snitched on P. Diddy. Would he have had all of that information about P. Diddy to snitch on him, though? 50 Cent put money in their pockets and put his son in acting school. Yeah. So DeMarcus says 2. So he feels like 50 Cent is wrong with how he's handling this. 50 Cent just posted something else. He going off. Oh my gosh. Good grief. While I'm on live. So Trina, you feel that he's in the right. Okay. So you feel he's in the right. I mean, for me, if y'all want my personal opinion, because again, this is my opinion through my eyes. I can understand where 50 is coming from because I'm a very loyal person. And now I don't know if I would go there to that extent. I would hope that he actually has legitimate information to know that Meech is actually a snitch and it's not a rumor. But yeah, I can understand why he's pissed off. Let me see what he's saying. Oh, he did just post. Damn. Let me see. Let's see.
Concert. Yeah, on February 13th, that big Meech was having. You heard, I know Little Baby ain't performing, right? Yeah, he said he ain't fucking with Gunna no more because Gunna a rat. I know he ain't performing that big Meech shit.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, 50, one thing about it. He, and here's the thing. And I think, DeMarcus, you mentioned this earlier. He also got into it with Omari Hardrick of, Ghost of Power. And Omari's issue was the fact that he felt like he didn't get paid enough money on Power. Okay. And of course, we have heard this story before. We have definitely heard this story before of Black actors feeling that they don't get paid enough. And 50's main thing was, when you say and you make these big announcements about how you weren't getting paid enough, people automatically think it's me and I'm not paying people correctly or whatever the case may be. So that's where he had an issue with it, because of course people just automatically looked at 50 like he was being cheap. And apparently Omari, when he was on the first, I think, couple of seasons, because they're not really making that much money on the first couple of seasons, the third season and beyond is when they really start making money. There was times where 50 Cent would literally give Omari money as a loan, and he paid him back because he just wasn't making that much money. He had a family to take care of. And again, I understand both sides, because like I said, you guys definitely know I've talked about how Black actors, Black, writers, producers and stuff in general, they just don't get paid the same amounts. Just the same thing as corporate America and things like that. But at the same time, Omari negotiated what he negotiated. You signed that contract. And maybe it could have been out of desperation or whatever the case may be, because I don't know where he was, like how long he had not been working or what kind of jobs he had. I know I saw him in several things before Power, but Power took him to another level. But you signed that contract. And while 50 is an executive producer, he's not in a negotiating room with you. So while I understand that, fortunately, you signed it. So at the same time, though, it does make you wonder why Omari hasn't really worked since. He has done like independent stuff here and there. I remember he did a movie with Loretta Devine. It was some type of movie like in the country or whatever the case may be. I forgot the name of it, but that was actually a pretty good movie. But he hasn't really, that did not propel him to another career where he could have another like TV show. Because allegedly, it sounds like he's not the best person to work with, because 50 even mentioned that Courtney Kemp, the creator of Power, and Omari apparently didn't get along. And Omari one time was screaming at her on set. So it could be that he can't get along with people too, and this is why he can't get a job. I don't know. But at the same time, we do have to take that into consideration. But I know one thing: if 50 keeps thinking that people keep crossing him and people keep taking his loyalty for granted, I think we're going to get another 50 times 1,000. And I don't think it's going to be pretty. I'm a little nervous about, because I think he's really fed up with people putting his name and stuff that he claims he has nothing to do with, or people just blatantly, he feels like taking advantage of him and then just disrespecting him by, and doing effed up ish, like taking pictures with his enemies or his enemies' kids. 50 Cent with Rick Ross. 50 Cent beef with Rick Ross, not with Big Meech. Yeah, but does Big Meech know him and Rick Ross got into it? I mean, at this point, I would say most people in the hip hop culture know about their beef. So I don't know. 50 Cent is trying to control everything and can't. I don't even know if he was trying to control. I think his thing is just loyalty. If I take care of you, you know, and again, maybe I don't know him. Maybe he feels like you can't move without him saying so. I don't know if that's the case, but what I do know is those are two sensitive topics. I mean, hell, when he pretty much said, even though he had already not really been talking to his oldest son anyways, when he said he was done with his oldest son for taking a picture with Supreme's son, his own blood that looked just like him, what the heck do you think he gonna do with Terry? So, I don't know. If I saw that, I would feel a certain way. I would. I really would feel a certain way. And I think when 50, instead of him showing that he's hurt, because I think he is, you know what I'm saying, a sensitive guy, he is a Cancer. Instead of him saying that he's hurt, he lashes out in the petty ways that he lashes out. Hey, Veronica. So, yeah. 50 Harburg was in the movie Star Trek Section 31, which aired January 24th. Was that aired? So it was a TV movie, or was it actually in theaters? Now it makes sense why Mario will never come back to the franchise. That would also make sense how, remember, after like season 4 or 5, things started to get rocky, and we couldn't understand why things were getting rocky when it came to certain things that we was like, what is going on here? I don't know about you guys, but I know after a certain season, I was like, what is going on here? But it makes sense that if the showrunner and the head writer is beefing with, you know what I'm saying, the lead actor because he's treating her allegedly a certain way, yeah, you may not be, you know what I'm saying, really welcome in to give him the best, the best dialogue, the best scenes, because you just don't care at that point. And at that point, I don't think Courtney Kemp was really hurting herself. She had made such a successful show and gave Star so much money. She probably already had her deals in place. Because let 50 tell it. Remember that scene with Omari and 50 fighting? And remember 50, Kanan's character, was able to get out of that warehouse? Apparently, I think that's the scene where he said Courtney wanted to off Ghost and get rid of Ghost at that time. And Kanan was like, 50 was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. So it's quite interesting. I'm big on loyalty too. Yeah, so am I. So I can understand his point in that situation. The fashions were lit, DeMarcus. The characters in BMF were unbearable. They really were. Don't get me started on Lamar. Lamar was good the first season, and after that, it was a done deal. 50 Cent did not want the writer to get rid of Amari. He didn't. And on a business sense, it did make sense. It did. And people want to claim, oh, she the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like this happened and Power, sucked or whatever. I think somebody was saying that they felt like the last couple of seasons of Power was horrible and they blamed it on her. Let me tell y'all something. Courtney Kemp is the one who created this show. So at the end of the day, people can get mad all they want, but Courtney Kemp clearly created a great show. So much so that there's franchises off of that show that she's still getting paid for. And now she's over at Netflix with another deal. So she clearly knows what the hell she's doing. But I would say if my money is already guaranteed and I know I got money coming from all the other franchises that I'm about to create, and Netflix, and I got this one alleged a-hole who thinks that he's above the franchise, and even when I'm trying to talk to him or whatever, he trying to curse me out, even though I created the show, yeah, I would probably be like, yeah, let's get this over with. Let's get this done because I'm going to have my money, sir. What about you? And I'm sure if he is that difficult to deal with, and I hate to say difficult, but 50 even said that she tried to give him a note on set, and I guess there's rules that the showrunner typically doesn't talk to the actors on set, and apparently he blew up on her. So apparently she didn't like him because of the way that he would treat her. And I don't blame her. Like, calm down the way you talk to women, especially. Lamar spinoff is coming. You think so? What could they really spin off on Lamar though? You know what I hate about this though? I will say this. I really want to see a legitimate show. I feel like BMF moved too fast. We needed, in my opinion, a couple of seasons where BMF was strictly in Detroit and maybe the surrounding states and cities that they would go to. We really needed to see Detroit in the 80s and 90s and coming up before they went to Atlanta. I felt like they moved too fast. I really do. I didn't like that. They went to Atlanta too fast, which is why I said, the show started going downhill, in my opinion. Book 2, Ghost was whack. Yeah, I don't like how Courtney Kemp made a black man on TV unalive his wife. Well, you know what? I don't know if that's what she initially wanted. I don't know if that's what she initially wanted, but at the same time, we have a lot of shows like that portray characters in a negative light, but on the business side, we love those shows. Those are the shows that we watch. I love Snowfall. Snowfall definitely did not give, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a positive situation. They was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the substances in the 80s, the Ready Rock. And yeah, I love that show though. So again, people are going to tend to make shows. It's still a business at the end of the day. They're going to make shows that are going to sell. So, but I get it though. I get it. I want to see Lamar terrorizing the hood, hunting people down with the special needs where he's having a pit bull. What? What? You say I don't want to see, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. You typed a lot on that one. You typed a lot on that. Courtney Kemp and Amari Hodges beef was because she tried to holler at Amari Hodges. Where did you hear that from? Where did you hear that from? If I'm not mistaken, she was married at the time that Power came out. Where did you hear that from, DeMarcus? That is a big allegedly. That is a big allegedly. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But I could see how Amari could be a little smug and a little, you know what I'm saying, difficult, just even sometimes off of his interviews. And he's still talking about how he didn't get his just due in Power, which, I mean, yeah, Power could have continued. And people still want to see Ghost, but again, if people don't want to work with you, they don't want to work with you, unfortunately. I just couldn't get into BMF. I did the first season. I can't wait for Raising Kanan to come back. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I'm not going in with any expectations, but yeah, it's coming back soon. I don't know where you heard that from, DeMarcus. You're gonna have to give me a source. Even though I don't like the return of Joey, I just feel like Courtney Kemp put her own personal feelings on the show. You mean as far as her and Omari not getting along? I mean, I guess fair enough. You know what I mean? Like you, but again, let me ask y'all this though. Let's have a real conversation. If you have power, and or better yet, you're new to having the power on this show, but it's a successful show. And again, Courtney Kemp is a black woman, all right? And this man is disrespecting her on set. But you have the power of the pen to make certain characters go a certain way. Now, keep in mind, one would say you don't let your emotions allow your show. You don't let your show get messed up over emotions. I get it, but at the same time, her bag was guaranteed. Her bag was guaranteed. His is not. Again, she has made how many franchises off the show? She has the Power franchise, but it was the first Power, book 2, book 3, book 4, and it was about to be a book 5. She in the money regardless. So if you sit up there and you try to continue to help somebody get a bag, but they keep on disrespecting you, what would you do in a situation? Like, what would you do? March is the month Kanan is coming back, I believe. Yes. And so hopefully, because I love to do scripted reviews, but it has to be good. It has to be good. 50 did say Courtney Kemp was sending Amari notes while they was on set. Yeah, but notes about the correction of things to do for the script, not love notes. She was sending him notes as far as maybe things to change in the script, certain dialogue probably, or certain things like that. I'm going to assume it wasn't like love notes. So that's what she was probably doing, maybe switching stuff at the last minute and things like that. And maybe he didn't like that. But sending him notes, I think that's what he's saying, work-related stuff, changing maybe something, changing how he says something, that type of stuff. Yeah. Come on, notes, sending out love signals. Courtney Kemp dated the actor 2-Bit Michael Ferguson. I think I did hear that. I don't know how true that was. I think I did hear that, but we still ain't getting no trailer. March 7th, Raising Cane. They probably gonna give us a trailer probably 2 weeks beforehand. We'll get it during Black History Month. But yeah, you guys, so that in a nutshell is what's going on, and I feel like it's not gonna end. It is not gonna end. 50 is not about just kind of being calm with his petty. He goes in, and it's to the point of no return. Now the question is going to be, is Meech going to respond? Because it was already a rumor mill about him allegedly snitching. But now 50 Cent with his 30 million followers is now saying it, and he ain't going to let it go. It's like a pit bull with a bone, and he ain't letting it go. So, and again, Teeth, what's your take on this? 2 cancer men going at it. Do you think Meech is going to respond? Courtney Kemp was dating 2-Bit from OG Power. Yeah, I think you just said that. I think I heard that. I don't know how true it was, but I think I did hear that. Yeah, but I want to say she was married at that time. I don't think those notes were love related. I think those notes were work related. Like, I need you to change this because, that dialogue doesn't sound right when you say it, or I need this, or I need that. And he didn't like her giving directions, on set. So I think that's what it was. But yeah, child, another one bites the dust. 50 Cent, when I tell you, when he's ready to go, he's on go time. And I wouldn't be shocked that he's talking about documentaries with Diddy. Don't put it past this man to do a documentary on Big Meech and BMF, and literally having this gentleman Cuffy and his family in the damn documentary. 50 Cent will do it. He will do it. At this point, he is probably trying to do everything he can to destroy Big Meech's reputation. And he's probably about to call everyone at this point. 50 Cent, man, I don't know. Like, I feel like, there are definitely times he definitely has taken stuff too far, especially when it comes to women. But why do people even bother crossing this man? Like, they haven't learned, and some of this stuff can be avoidable. Like, honestly, taking a picture with his arch enemy or his arch enemy's son, you don't think that's going to trigger that man? Or maybe they just don't care. And I'm starting to think that maybe Big Meech, I think Big Meech, sorry. I think Big Meech is more aware of what it looks like, you know what I'm saying, versus Terry. I think he really realizes that. So it's making me wonder, is it when Terry did what he did and 50 Cent came back being messy, saying, oh, BMF gonna be off in no time, and you probably mad because your nephew make more money than you, type of thing. I wonder if when that happened, Big Meech was kind of pissed off and felt like, don't cross my family. Like, I can deal with my brother a certain way, but don't cross my family. Don't bring my son into it. And maybe him taking a picture of Rick Ross was pretty much saying F you to 50. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he felt like 50 crossed the line publicly putting that stuff out there, and he now wanted to show that the Flannery brothers are always going to have more loyalty with each other than with a random, even if you did help them. I don't know. I think Big Meech is definitely way more aware of what he did than Terry. Terry just seems oblivious to not care about anything and everything. But I think Big Meech is the one who really knows how that looked. For sure, like before he even did it. Terry maybe understood the aftermath of it, but Big Meech, I think, was very aware. So it really makes you wonder if he did it on purpose, if he was trying to signal to 50. Yes, I didn't like how he did Notori. Yeah. Yeah. Not only Notori, we can keep going. I mean, Rick Ross' baby mama. I just talked about that on Wags to Riches. He did her dirty. So we ain't gonna pretend. That's why I say Curtis Jackson, like if I could sit down with Curtis Jackson and pick his brain, I think he's a brilliant businessman. He is definitely one of those rappers who was able to truly take that investment and take it to another level with Vitamin Water, with all of the TV and the movies. Like, he's about to build a studio, I think in Louisiana still or somewhere else. But I would love to pick Curtis Jackson's brain. 50 Cent though, man, who like that? Don't even want to deal with it. But yeah, you guys, so that's what's going on. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I was just like, good grief, it's only February 3rd. Like, do y'all realize how much stuff is going on in this world? Like, we got these planes that are just going down left and right. Every time I blink, there's an executive order. We had the fires out here. Like, I can't keep up at this point. I cannot keep up. It is just so much stuff going on right now. And then this happens. Child, I'm like, can we get a week maybe where nothing exciting happens or no drama happens? Just a little bit, maybe, possibly. But with that being said, you guys, let me know what you think. Hey, V baby, I take one nap and something went on right. Child, I ain't even take a nap. I started early in the morning. I was on live at 6 a.m. out here, and here I am literally on another live, and it's 6:30 out here. Okay, you talk about your girl has been up all day, and as much as I said I was gonna do Wags to Riches tomorrow, yeah, it may have to wait until Wednesday. I need a day off. Your girl been working. So with that being said, oh, thank you. This year is already starting off cray. Yeah. And if it continues that way, it's going to be 2024 was nothing. Like, 2024 was a punk ass compared to 2025 if it continues this way. I'm hoping it truly slows up. I really do. So, yes, shout out to the crew. Yes, shout out to the crew as always for supporting. Child, I feel like it, child. I'm like, I may need some wine tonight or something. Make sure you guys like this video. But for those who may have more insight on this, well, first of all, do you think Big Meech snitched? I don't know why Cuffy would have a reason with a 30-year plus friendship, but do you think he snitched? And how do you feel 50 Cent handled this? If you're a loyal person, how would you take people doing, the Flannery brothers doing what they're doing, taking pictures with his enemy? So let's continue the conversation, and please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.